It's Christmas Eve, and in this video, I thought it'd be fun to share with you 10 comics that are on my Christmas wish list. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggle Haas. It's Christmas Eve, and I hope you guys are having an amazing holiday season so far. Granted, it's a little bit of a weird year given everything that's going on with COVID, so I hope you guys are keeping safe and healthy. So that said, because it's Christmas Eve, I thought it would be kind of cool to do a thematic video that shares with you guys the top 10 comics that are on my Christmas wish list. Now, I don't think I'm going to be getting any of these comic books tomorrow unless my wife buys them for me, but let's be honest, she's totally not going to buy them for me. So these are going to be my top 10 comics that I want for 2021, keys and grails that I'm going after, with a little bit of a caveat. Granted, I want like some major grails eventually in my life, the Avengers #1 and X-Men #1 and things like that. But these are going to be comics that I feel like are going to be attainable for next year. So this is like a reasonable top 10, at least for me. All right. And then tomorrow I'm going to do a Christmas video that is the top comics that I gifted myself in 2020 in the spirit of Christmas Day. But before I get into my list, if you guys could drop me a like or a comment or subscribe, the best gift you could give to me would be to do one of those things. I'm super close to 500 subscribers, so it'd be awesome to hit that milestone by Christmas Day. So if you could do one of those things, that'd be awesome. Okay, with that being said, let us get into my top 10 comics that are on my wish list for 2021. And that's going to be coming in number 10 is Tales to Astonish number 52. Now, what is the significance of this one? This is the first appearance of the second Black Knight, Nathan Garrett, who, as you can see right there on the cover, he's the villainous version of the Black Knight compared to Dana Whiteman, who it comes out in Avengers, I think 48 it is, and he becomes the guy that Kit Harington is going to play in the MCU. Now, why do I like this one? Because you know me, I love my B-tier villains, and I'm somebody who really enjoys the team, the Masters of Evil. You guys can see right there, I have the first appearance of the Masters of Evil, and additionally, I have first Radioactive Man. So it's sort of my mini goal to get the first appearances of all those guys. Nathan Garrett, the Black Knight, is one of them, and then the other one I will get to later in this video. So that's my number 10 wish list comic that I want to get for 2021 is Tales to Astonish number 52. All right, let's go on to number 9 here. And number 9 is going to be Tales to Astonish, same run, number 63. And what is the significance of this? This is the first full appearance of the leader. Now, this is one that I want to get as far as like a little more of a spec thing, because I am suspecting that we might still see the leader in the MCU. We have Tim Blake, who was established as being someone who was hinted at being the leader. And since we got Tim Roth, who is going to reprise his role as Abomination, this is a book that I have my eye on as a spec book that we could see the leader eventually in the MCU. And not to mention that, you know me, I love B-tier villains, and this is just one that I think is actually like a pretty cool cover. Even though leader's not on it, I think that the colors really pop. It's really cool, and this is definitely something I'm going to put on my wall if I get my hands on it. All right, moving on to number 8 now, which is Journey into Mystery 98. Now, what's the significance of this? This is the first appearance of a character known as Cobra right there. And you guys may know him as King Cobra later on. He's a famous Captain America villain, has a significant role in the Serpent Society. And this is a book that is his first appearance, and I would love to get my hands on because obviously I love B-tier villains. And again, I keep mentioning Serpent Society stuff, and I want to, in sort of blue water speculation territory, I want to get my hands on all the Serpent Society stuff and get those books before it even becomes like clear that we're getting them in the MCU in any sort of way. So Journey into Mystery 98 is definitely something I want to get my hands on. I have a lot of the Journey into Mysteries there, so this would sort of be one that I want to get. I have a bunch of others that I have on my list eventually. So yeah, Journey to Mystery 98 would be awesome to have. All right, moving on now to my number 7 pick is going to be Tales of Suspense number 47. And this is the first appearance of a character known as the Melter. And if I got this one, that would round out me having captured all the first appearances of the original Masters of Evil. So for me, this would be a cool book to have, and I would definitely do like sort of a thematic arrangement on my wall where I have, the Masters of Evil, Avengers 6, and then I have, first Nathan Garrett, first Radioactive Man, first Melter, and I put them all together, and that would bring me joy just to see like, the B tier villain team all lumped together. All right, so let's move on now to my next pick, which is going to be Fantastic Four number 18. And this is the first appearance of the Super Skrull. Now, this is not something that I've always sort of wanted to own in terms of like a personal collection type of thing. This is something that I want to pick up more as like a sleeper sort of blue ocean spec book, because I have the feeling that we're going to get Super Skrull as the villain in the first Fantastic Four movie. I know a lot of people would assume that we might get Doctor Doom, but based on the landscape of everything going on in the MCU, I think Super Skrull is the one that would be a more natural fit, a more likely person to see. So this is one that I want to pick up on spec before any rumors come out, before it gets crazy hot or whatever. And the only problem with this one is that it is a little bit expensive, just from the nature of it being an old Silver Age with the first appearance of a villain. So this is one that's going to be tricky for me to find at a budget that I feel is going to be worth spending, since I have so many other books that I want. And I think that's a good segue to go on to the next one. So next one I have here is Amazing Spider-Man 300. Yes, that is right. Amazing Spider-Man 300. I am not someone who owns Amazing Spider-Man 300, and it's a shame because I'm a big believer in this book. Like, I know that this year Amazing Spider-Man 300 had a huge spike, and it was like one of the hottest books of the year. And I'm of the opinion that I think that that's here to stay. I think Amazing Spider-Man 300 is the Hulk 181 of our generation, or of the Copper generation. I think this is a book that's going to be significant for the rest of the comic book collecting history. I mean, there's so many things going for it. It is the first appearance of Venom, major character. It is a classic, iconic cover, right? It is by Todd McFarlane. It is a Spider-Man book. Spider-Man books are always sought after. So this is one that I think has a huge economic moat. If you guys are familiar with the like sort of stock term, and this is one that I don't have my hands on, and I feel like I'm not running out of time, but as soon as Venom 2 comes out, which is going to come out later this in 2021, in the middle of 2021, I feel like this book's going to take another jump in the market. So Amazing Spider-Man 300 is definitely something I have my eye on, and I would love to pick it up. So that is, I think, number 4 now. So or I have 4 left here, and the next one is another Spider-Man book, and that is going to be Amazing Spider-Man number 6. This is the first appearance of a character known as the Lizard. And I don't know what it is, but when it comes to B tier villains, Lizard is my number 1. He was my first love. The very first time that I saw a comic book that had Spider-Man in it, it had Lizard as one of the villains. And I had all the comic book cards growing up. If you guys remember those Marvel Series 1 and Series 2 comic book cards. And Lizard, I could stare at his card all day. I don't know what it was. I just love the fact that he, had that dinosaur feel. I guess it is, kids, we all love dinosaurs when we're growing up. And Lizard was just so cool to me. And this has always been a book that has been a sort of grail book on my radar. And I would love to get my hands on it. And 2021, I think, is a really good year for me to pursue it, because everything going on with Spider-Man 3, it looks like we're getting a lot of Sinister Six talk, and so everyone is flocking to those books. So I feel the Amazing Spider-Man 6 is flying under the radar. I think this will be the perfect year to pursue it, because all the other Spider-Man books are going to be so hot. And I definitely have my eye on it. So as far as like what is on the list, this is arranged, in a 1 to 10 as far as getting more expensive. But as far as priority, this one's pretty high up there for me. So I'm definitely looking for this book somewhat aggressively, and I'm going to keep my eye on it all year. All right, moving on now to my last 3, which is Silver Surfer number 1. Yep, the first issue of his first initial series, Silver Surfer number 1. Amazing cover, super iconic, beautiful book. And it's possible that we're going to get Silver Surfer soon. So this is one that I do have my eye on. Now I do have, see behind me right there. Oh, there it is. Silver Surfer 2. 3, and 4. So I would love to get number 1 and just have those 4 books, because Silver Surfer growing up was my favorite character, and these 4 books have a special place in my heart. So I definitely want to have that first 4 run, because all 4 of those covers, I think they're amazing. I mean, I know that number 2 is not really, beloved the same way, but I love it. I think the purple is amazing with that cover. So it'd be great to have number 1. All right, rounding it out now to the last 2 of my list here is going to be, you guessed it, Fantastic Four, number 49, first Silver Surfer on the cover, first full appearance of Galactus, and this is a massive book that I want. This is something that, like, I would say of all the like priority books that I have on my list, I think Fantastic Four number 49 is the number 1 for me. Now you might be asking, well, why don't you want Fantastic Four 48? That's the first real appearance of the Silver Surfer. I have a personal bias. He's not on the cover for me, and this Fantastic Four 49, he's actually on the cover. Granted, it might also be that 48 is a little too expensive for my taste, but 49 I feel like is for me is the book. It's first full Galactus. I love Galactus. It's got Silver Surfer on the cover, favorite character of all time, and I want to get my hands on this book before we see these guys in the MCU, because as soon as that happens, man, this is going to be an expensive thing. So definitely looking at that one, and I would say looking at Amazing Spider-Man 6, First Lizard. Those are the 2 I'm looking at the most. All right, rounding it out now to my number 1 comic that is on my Christmas wish list for 2021. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but that is going to be Incredible Hulk 181. What enough said, right? Enough said. Incredible Hulk 181, first full appearance of Wolverine. This would be an awesome book to have. I mean, definitely hands down the most expensive book on my wish list. I don't know if it's going to be something that's in my budget for next year, but it is something that I'm thinking about. And I'm feeling the pressure a little bit. I'm feeling the FOMO. I'm super scared. As soon as we see Wolverine in the MCU, oh man, this book is going to be unreachable. Totally unreachable. But definitely something that is on my Christmas list. Would be really special for me if I got my hands on it. And definitely going to keep my eye out. So anyways, those are my 10 comics that are on my Christmas wish list for 2021 and that I would love to focus on, and we'll see if I get any of them. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. Let me know for you guys what is on your 2021 wish list. What are your grails and keys that you're after? I'd love to hear. Let me know what you think of the ones that I'm after. And if you could drop me a like or comment or subscribe, I'd much appreciate that. Let's get to 500. Hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas Eve, and I will see you in the next video.